Coach Tomlin, sure.
I bet you he could play linebacker right now. That guy looks like he's in shape.
Yeah, he is in shape. He played wide receiver. He didn't make it. He didn't get anywhere close to the NFL. He played at William and Mary, of course. But anyway, you bring up Graham Harrell, and that gets Texas Tech on the brain, and then that leads me to the fact that you promised a week ago when you were on the show that you were going to get Pat Knight, the head coach of the Red Raiders, here on the podcast. What happened? Where is he? Is he ready to go? Let's put him on the line if you don't mind. As a matter of fact,
I ain't talked to him all week.
Well, I thought you were going to get him though.
You didn't call me on Wednesday. That's what I said. Call me on Wednesday between
what difference does that?
1:30 and 1:38.
Well, wait a second. Your story isn't exactly straight there, the Ed. You said you haven't talked to him all week, so what difference would it make if I called you on Wednesday or if I called you today?
Because you got to follow the rules. Rules is rules.
Yeah, but it sounds like you didn't talk to him in either way, so you wouldn't have gotten him on the phone on Wednesday. It would have been the same disappointment.
I probably could have if you'd called on Wednesday.
What is the story? You claimed last week when you were on the show that he's your friend now, that you met him, you hung out with him when you were down there for a basketball game a couple weeks ago. He's 6'5". Yeah, I know. What's the sass? What are you doing over here now? You're Pitt.
I'm looking at the score. I can't
All right.
see.
Well, Pitt is now up. I believe that just put them up. Oh, they're up by exactly 1 point with 13 minutes to go against.
No, it's 40-38 with 13:02.
Yeah, I was just checking on the score.
All right. Well,
12:59, 12:58, 12:57, 12:56, 12:55, 12:55.
All right, we get it. I assume it's going to count down from there. So there, DeJuan Blair makes the free throw, and they're up 2 points.
Oh man, you're like 35 seconds behind.
Fine. So what? Don't laugh. I'm tired of the laughing, the Ed. You know, it gets to be enough. Hey, so when are you going to get Pat Knight? You claimed he was your good friend. Now you claimed.
Call Wednesday, man. Call Wednesday.
Call you on Wednesday. All right, let's put this in stone now. I'm going to call you next Wednesday, and you.
I don't care what you say. Just do it.
What do you mean you don't care what I say? I'm telling you, I'm trying to schedule something with you. I will call you. And I'm looking at this game, too. Sam Young just missed a 25-foot shot there from the top of the key. And
you are behind. East Tennessee just went down and shot 2 3-pointers in a row, man. It's 46-40.
No, it's not. It's 40 apiece with 12.5 to go here.
At 12:06 left, it's 46-40.
Now I know you're lying because Gilbert Brown just got fouled. Either way, no matter what, this is disgusting. This is an abysmal performance here. So are you next Wednesday? We will get you on the line, and you will get Texas Tech head basketball coach Pat Knight, and he will set up the Sweet 16 games for us.
Yeah, I'll get him or somebody close.
What does that mean? So Pat Knight, are you backing off of your statement last week that he's your friend? He's your friend, and if he's your friend, then he should at least be able to do you a favor and come on.
Well, you know what? Some people would think that you're my friend, but you haven't been over to a barbecue yet.
Well, I'm busy. I've had a pregnant wife, and now I have 2 little kids to contend with.
Listen, is all the grandparents still around today? They're all still in town?
No, but
they left that quick?
Yeah, well,
them
listen.
babies must be bad. Them kids must be some bad kids.
No, they're nice little kids. They're both nice little kids. So, you
gotta have somebody take care of them.
Speaking of family, I did
want to. Mom, she gotta, stop crying about, I just had a baby, and get up and do something.
All right, I'll tell her that when I get home tonight. That's some great counsel. Now, what about though? You brought up family, and it reminded me. I'm ashamed to say, but you know what? I've said it many times before that when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong, and when
I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong.
And like Jerry Orbach said at the end of Dirty Dancing, I have been wrong quite a bit here early on in my bracket. Among the 6 or so different pools I entered this year, one was a family pool that we do every year. It's about 20 or 25 people in my family spread out over the country. Guess what? Guess what place I'm in? Last place. That's behind old ladies like my mother. That's behind little kids like my nephews. This is a humiliation. And as far as I know, I'm the only one who talks about sports for a living. And I'm in last place. That's awful, isn't it?
That just goes to show that you don't have no business talking about this stuff sometimes. That's why you gotta get guests knowledgeable so they can help you understand. Like when me and this other kid, Sassy, is over there talking,
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get you to understand how sports work, but you got some kind of
Do you think,
opinion.
How about this, Ed? You bring up something interesting to me. Do you think that you or Sassy, as you call him, do you think either one of you knows anything close to as much about sports as I do?
I know at least 37 and a half times more than you do.
37 and a half, huh? All right, well, listen, maybe we should administer some sort of a quiz here and settle it once and for all.
Well, you don't pay up. You already owe me that money from Jeopardy.
I don't owe you.
Stuff.
By the way, I don't owe you any money. And when you mentioned that you were going to buy my son DirecTV and get him a flat screen TV, I assume that would be after you hit me up for $1,500 again, right?
I mean, you got to pay for it somehow.
Right. So in other words, I would buy it for him.
Hear that, little baby? Your dad said he's going to buy you a TV.
Now, all right, listen, we're missing the point here. But all right, the SAS, maybe we should try to administer some sort of a quiz. What if we did this? How about this? And tell me if this is possible, the SAS.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ed, if you don't like any of the conditions I'm throwing out here, so be it. Let's open this up here and build this thing right here on the spot. What about, it would be kind of like I'm a number one seed like Pitt is, and you're like East Tennessee State, the Ed, so it would be improbable if you beat me. But anyway, what about if we had some sort of a thing where, how could we work this? Where you, the SAS, receive questions from the audience to ask. And so the Ed and I would not know what the questions are in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And then you administer a quiz. And there would be no prize. The prize would be the glory of victory.
There's always no prize with you, man. Look on your website, on your message board, and look at this nice trophy I give to this kid, man, for winning. That's what you got to do. You got to give away these nice things.
All right. Well, you did give away a nice trophy. And which tournament was that one for, the Ed? Which
that
contest?
Was for the EdBA.
The EdBA
basketball.
Right. And of course, you can go to Dameshek.com and check that out. And also you have you have all your games and such going at the Ed Super Deluxe website.com. And speaking of that, so before we jump to that though, what do you think, the SAS? Is that possible? Would we be able to do that without the Ed looking at the questions ahead of time and me looking at the questions ahead of time?
Yeah, I could set up an email and just link to it from your page so people would go to 710 ESPN, the Dameshek homepage, and they could click on the link and
do that.
I only got one stipulation,
and then I'd pull from those, and maybe by Wednesday or I don't know, whenever.
The Ed used a big word.
A test.
He has a stipulation he wants to throw out here.
It's got to be sports only, no hockey.
Well, I
agree.
No, okay.
I don't know nothing about hockey or soccer, and those are the two sports that you seem to know a lot about.
I don't know anything about soccer, but
how about this though?
Hockey's a real sport. I was about to say, how about the 6 major sports? Those sports being NFL, baseball, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, college hoops, college football. Those are legitimate.
How about we weight your knowledge in each of the 6 major sports and assign point values based on how well you know that sport. So if you rate hockey as your number one, then every one of those is worth like 10 points for you. Whereas if hockey's your worst, they're only
never
worth,
know if he gets them
2
right.
points or something like that.
Well,
that would really kind of balance it out.
Well, if nothing else, if the Ed, I think at least what we should do is segment it so that if I obviously dominate in the hockey area, for instance, then the Ed wouldn't
I'll beat you in every other sport. I mean, you could make up a sport and I'd beat you.
It would be like a decathlon, basically, right? Except whatever the septathlon, or what would that be? A
Listen, there's no reason to do hockey because you're going to beat me in hockey, but every other sport
that's what I'm saying.
I'll beat you.
All right,
why do you want to? I mean, you just want to look good on one sport.
No, well, I don't imagine that I would lose in any category. But so what did you say the 6 sports should be?
Who?
You.
Baseball, basketball.
Right.